This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, everyone. In the last session, we understood what are Git commands. So how to perform operations with Git repository by using commands in Git bash. So we will create a repository for our project in the github.com. That is a centralized platform where several people can interact with that. That platform will be maintained in the cloud. Now, as a developer, we need to perform our operations with the cloud repository. In order to perform those operations, we have several options. One is Git GUI, another one Git Bash, another one IDE, another one source tree. Like that, there are several softwares we can use as a client to communicate with our Git repository. The most important thing to understand commands that we are going to use in the Git Bash. Even in the interview also, they will ask you commands from Git Bash only. First, we will discuss these commands. We will practice these commands. Later, I will show you how to work with Git repositories from IDEs directly. I will show you how we will work with Git repository from the IDE directly. Right. So in the last session, we discussed a few commands from Git Bash. Right. One is the help command. So what is the purpose of help command? To get frequently used commands from Git Bash. Git help. If you want to know information related to particular command, then you can use git help command name. You will get documentation for that command. Then we have seen git init command, which is used to initialize the folder as a repository or reinitialize the existing folder. Git init command. Then we discussed about git add command. What is the purpose of add command? Which is used to add the files to staging area. What is staging area? The files which we are added to the staging area, those files are eligible for commit. If you want to add multiple files at a time, either you can go for a dot or you can go for -a also, so that all the modified files, newly created files will be added to staging area. Next one, git commit. Git commit -m message. Git commit -m message command we tried. What is the purpose of this command? It is used to commit our staging area files. It is used to commit our staging area files to local repository. Local repository will be maintained in our system only. Right. Next, git push. This command is used to push local commits to central repository. To push local commits to central repository, we will use git push command. Next one, git reset head. Git reset head command is available. Git reset head command is available, which is used to unstage a file. Git reset head -hyphen file name. Right now, that file name we are going to specify, which is used to unstage a file. Next, git checkout. Git checkout file name. What is the purpose of this checkout? Which is used to discard our changes. Which is used to discard our changes. We will use checkout, just undo operation. Whatever the changes I have done to a file, I want to remove my changes. Then we will go for git checkout command. Right. Next one, git status command. Git status command. The purpose of git status to check the details about staging, unstaging, untracked files. Before I want to commit, I just want to see what are the files modified, what are the files newly created. To get those details, we will use a command called status command. We'll use a command called status command. Now, let us try to understand few more commands from our git bash, right? So these commands we practiced already in the yesterday's session, right? Now, here we are having a repository in the GitHub. So I hope you already know how to create a repositories in the GitHub. So we'll go to github.com. We will log into our github.com and we will commit, we will create a new repository. In the real-time company environment, Git administrator will be available to create the repositories. But here, I'm only creating repository, right? Click on new repository creation 02 application. Just I'm creating this as a second application. Description we can provide about that. I'm creating this as a public repository, and I'm clicking on create repository button so that repository will be created, and for this repository URL also generated. For this repository URL also generated. This is called Git repository URL. As you created this repository, you can copy this URL. You can copy this URL, Git repository URL. In the company, Git administrator will create the repository for our project. He will share that URL with us. This is the repository URL. Every team member has to use this repository URL. For project, we will have only one repository URL, because for project, one repository we are going to create. For that repository, URL will be available. Right. Now, here I want to perform some operations to that repository. Here I want to perform some operations to that repository. Right now I'm creating one folder as a practice folder. This is currently empty. This is currently empty. Can I open git bash from this folder? Yes, right click on mouse. We can see git bash. We can see git bash. I want to initialize this folder as a git folder. So can you tell me what is the command I need to use to initialize this folder as a git folder? Guys, now I need your answers because already we know. So what is the command that I need to use? Git init command. I'm going to use a command called init, which is used to initialize this. Now here I'm creating one simple file, text document, some demo.java. One file is created, newly created file. Is it eligible for commit or it is not eligible for commit? This file is eligible for commit or this file is not eligible for commit? Not eligible. Can I make this file eligible for commit? Yes, I can make this file eligible for commit. It is untracked file. How can I check those details? By using git status command. This is untracked file. It is untracked file. Yes. How to add this file to the staging area? How can I add this file to the staging area? Add command. Git add demo.java. Git add demo.java. Now check the status again. Now this file is displaying as staged file. Now I can commit this. Git commit -m message. First commit. Git commit -m first commit. Now as it is for first time, what I need to do? I need to add to remote repository also by using remote add option. That is the first time. I need to add it to remote repository also. For that, just copy the command from git.com. I am using this command, git remote add origin, that URL of the repository. Fine. Next, git push -u origin master. Git push -u origin master. Local commits will be pushed to remote repository. Right. So we can see that file will be reflected in our central repository. Yes, push is completed. Now we can see demo.java file came to my repository. Demo.java file came to my repository. Fine. So here I can modify that file also. When this file is existing file in the repository, now I can modify this file, public class demo. I will write public void m1. Some method I am writing. Save this file. Now I need to commit it. Before committing, first I will check the status. Git status. This is not staged. First I need to stage this file. How to stage it? Git add -a or git file name I can use to stage this file. Now check git status. Now this file is staged. Now I can unstage or I can commit it. To unstage, we are having a reset command. Now let me commit it. Git commit -m. Suppose there is a task CSL2 or CSL-4 3, right? Now added M1 method. Added M1 method is a commit message. Why I added that M1 method also, I'm giving that reason. This is the proper way of giving the commit message. Right. Now check status. Without commit, we cannot do the push. Push will take only local commits which you have committed. Now, my local branch is ahead of one commit from the version master. So local commit is done. Now I need to commit that to central. For that, we should go for which command? Push command. Git push. Git push. Now this local commit will be pushed to central repository. Local commit will be pushed to central repository. Fine. Let us verify. In the central, does this file is modified or not? Refresh. Refresh. Open demo.java. Yes, whatever the code I had done in the demo.java, now I am able to see that code in my central repository. So with this we understood how we can commit changes to local repository and how we can commit changes to central repository. Right. Now here, whenever we make a commit, then commit ID will be generated for that. Whenever we make a commit ID will be generated for that. Right. Now let us see here. When we make changes to files, we need to stage them to commit. We need to stage them to commit. To stage a file, to add file to staging area, we will use add command. To commit files to local repo, we will use commit command. We should provide reason for commit. At the time of commit operation. Reason for commit as a message. To commit, to promote, to publish local commits to central repository. To publish local commits to central repository, we will use push command. So what is the difference between push command and commit command? Commit is used to commit to local repository. Push is used to commit to central repository. Central repository will be available in github.com, where local repository will be available in our system. All right. Now, one more point we need to understand. Whenever we commit, Git will generate commit ID. When we commit, Git will generate commit ID. Commit ID contains 40 alphanumeric characters. Commit ID contains 40 alphanumeric characters. 40 alphanumeric characters will be generated as a commit ID, right? From these 40 alphanumeric characters, it will display first 7 characters for us. From 40 alphanumeric characters, it will display first 7 characters to us. That is a commit ID. Whenever you do any commit, it is going to generate one commit ID. That commit ID contains 40 alphanumeric characters. From that 40, it is going to display first 7 characters to us as a commit ID. If we want, we can see those 40 alphanumeric characters also. Right. Now let us see here. If you observe our repository now, I committed this demo.java file. Just 5 minutes ago, I committed this demo.java file. If you observe here, 7 characters are displaying 13716F2 alphanumeric, mix of alphanumeric. These 7 characters are called as my commit ID. These 7 characters are called as my commit ID. Actually, 40 characters will be available, but it is displaying only 7 for us. Right now, if you click on it, if you click on this ID, then you can see the complete commit ID. This is the complete commit ID. From this complete commit ID, it is going to display only first 7 characters for us. These are the first 7 characters will be displayed as a commit ID. So, but complete ID will contain 40 alphanumeric characters. It is a unique value will be generated for every commit. When you commit anything to your repository, unique commit ID will be generated that contains 40 alphanumeric characters. From those, it will display first 7 characters as a commit ID for you. Display first 7 characters as a commit ID for you. So whenever you do commit and whenever you push that commit to the repository, it is going to display those commit IDs, right? By using commit ID, we can understand when that commit is happened and what is happened in that commit. Fine. Next, to check commits history, we will use a command called log. We will use a command called log. Let's check this log or logs. Some command is there. Git log. Yes, it is displaying the history of the commit. It is displaying the history of the commit. It is displaying the complete commit ID. So first commit happened at 12:48. Second commit happened at the 12:02. So today 2 commits are happened to this repository. To check the history of the commits, we will use a command called git log command. So this is the new command that we practiced today. Yesterday we did not see this command, right? So to check commit history, to check commits history, we will use git log command. Git log command. What is the syntax for that? Git log. That's it. To check commits history, we will use git log command. The syntax for that is git log. The syntax is git log. Fine. So here it is displaying message and it is displaying commit ID, who committed that, when committed that, what is the commit message. So in commit logs, in commit logs, it will display below details. You will display below details. What are those? Commit ID, author, that means who committed, author, timestamp, when that commit is happened, timestamp will be displayed for us. Next one, commit message. All these details will be displayed in the commit logs. In commit logs, it will display below details. To check commits history, we will use git log command. The command is git space log. If you want to see commits history, then we will go for git log command, and the git log command will display below details. What is the commit ID? Commit ID contains 40 characters, alphanumeric, right? First 7 will be called as a commit ID, right? For every commit, 40 alphanumeric characters will be generated. From that, first 7 will be displayed for us. Who committed that author will be displayed, timestamp will be displayed, commit message also will be displayed for us. This is one command, git log command. Fine, perfect. Next, here I created this repository and I committed my files to this repository. Now you should also want to work with the same repository. Assume that the project is already created, project team is already working on the development. Somebody in the team lead, generally in the project we have a team lead. That team lead, assume that he is the person. Our project is having one team lead, is the experienced guy. Now from tomorrow onwards, our project development is going to start. From tomorrow onwards, project development is going to start. For our project, they decided GitHub is a repository. GitHub. For our project, we decided to use GitHub is a repository. Right. Now, what this person is going to do, he will create one repository in the project, or he will request the DevOps team to create a repository for the project. This is our application repository. For application, we are having one repo. that is created in the Git repository. Now this person committed project. This person has done commits to the project. He created one project in the local machine. He committed that project to Git repository. He committed that project to Git repository. Now point 1, our TL team lead committed project structure, just folder structure, committed project folder structure, committed project folder structure to Git repository. Committed project folder structure to Git repository. He added some dependencies also which are required, and he committed that folder structure to Git repository. Now, do I need to create the project once again and commit to the repository, or I need to use the existing repository, existing project in the repository? Every team member will create the project structure, or only one person will create the project structure? Come on, respond. Every team member will create, or only one person? Only one person. So team lead already. Sir, don't unmute your mic. Please respond in the chat box. How many times I need to tell you? You have to respond in the chat box, not with the mic. Mic you can talk at the end of the session, not in the middle. Please try to understand. Behave like a professionals. Right. Here, team lead is available. Team lead created a project in his system, in his laptop, and he created that project to Git repository. Folder structure, just folders are created in the IDE. In the Spring Tool Suite IDE, I created a project. That project I want to commit to the Git repository. Team lead will do that. Just he created a project. He added the dependencies required. He committed that project to the Git repository. Now, in that project, there are several team members are available. They don't want to create the repository once again. They should not do that, because already repository is created, project also created. That project is committed to the repository by team lead. Now what the other developers has to do, they have to take the project which is available in the repository. They have to take the project which is available in the repository. How to take the project which is available in the repository? Now here there are another 2 developers are available. Now there are another 2 developers are available. They also want to work on the same project. But these 2 developers, one team lead is available. This team lead created that project. This team lead created that project and committed that project to GitHub repository. So these members also can access that GitHub repository. Now, what has to do by these developers? These developers has to clone that repository. These developers has to clone that repository. Right? This developer will send a command called clone command, then he will get that project. This developer also will send a command called clone command. He will use, then this project will come to this developer system. So what these developers has to do, they need to clone repo. He need to clone the repository. Now this person also should clone the repository. One person will create the project folder structure. That folder structure will be committed to Git repository. What other remaining developers has to do? Remaining developers has to clone that repository. So there is a command called clone command if you want to clone the repository. What is the meaning of cloning? Taking project from the repository to your system. Taking the project from the repository to your system is called as cloning. Cloning. Somebody already created. Why to create the same project once again? You just clone it. You just clone into your system, start create your files in that and commit those files. So now generally this scenario will happen. Project started 1 year back, you just joined in the company. You no need to create the project folder structure once again. People are already working on the project. You need to work on the existing project. You need to work on the existing project. How to work with existing project? By cloning the repository to your system, you will start working on that project. Right now, see how to clone that repository. Here I'm going to create one folder. Here I'm going to create one folder. Assume that this folder is for, assume that this is a new person joined. Let me keep that person name also. Assume that he is some Sanjay. Sanjay is the new project developer. He joined in this project. Now, for the Sanjay, team lead told that, hey Sanjay, we are already working in this project from 1 year. This is the repository URL. You just set up your workspace. This is the project repository URL. You just set up your workspace. So what the Sanjay has to do? Does he need to create the project, new project, and should commit to the repository, or he has to take the existing project? Right. Fine. Now Sanjay has to take the existing project, or Sanjay has to create the new project. No, it is not freezed, sir. Please check it once. It is not freezed. Please check it once. Now I just opened my folder with a name called Sanjay. It is a new resource. Now screen is not passed. All of you able to see this now? Can you see the screen now? It is not passed. Right. Now Sanjay has to create the new project, or Sanjay has to clone the existing project. He need to clone it because the project already available. People are already working on the project from 1 year. They're already working on the project from 1 year. So he just need to take the project which is available. For that, Sanjay will go for git bash. Sanjay will go to git bash and he will use a command called clone command. He will use a command called clone command. Now see here, what is the syntax of the clone? Git clone repository URL. Git clone repository URL. Team lead will provide repository URL to the Sanjay. Sanjay will have the credentials also. Now using those repository details, repository URL and repository credentials will be given to Sanjay. He just need to clone the repository URL repository. For that we have a command called clone. Git clone space repository URL. Git space clone space repository URL. So the complete repository will be downloaded to Sanjay's system. Whenever you do for cloning for first time, it will ask the password, sir. From second time, it don't ask that. So I have done cloning for several times. That's why it is not asking my password. But when you do for first time, it will ask your account password. Right. Now, git clone repository URL. Now go to Sanjay folder and check it. So 0 to app, which is repository cloned to Sanjay system. So earlier, this Sanjay folder is empty. The Sanjay folder was empty, but now 0 to app is displaying here. What does that mean? Sanjay cloned that repository. So what is the meaning of cloning? Taking project from the repository to local system is called as cloning. Right. Now let's assume that I'm going to explain once again. Here, one more folder called some Bharat. He's also a new joinee in the project. Now assume that this is Bharat system. Assume that this is the Bharat, sorry, not text files. I need to create a folder for that. Now in the desktop, I'm creating one folder, or else here direct I'm creating one folder, new folder. So folder name I am choosing Bharat. Assume that it is a Bharat system. Assume that it is a Bharat system. This folder is empty. This folder is empty. Nothing is available. Now Bharat is newly joined in that company. He has to check out that. How he will check out that? He will open git bash. Check me clone, sir. In the SVN terminology it is checkout. In the Git terminology it is called clone. So what is the command for taking the repository to local system? What is the command that I need to use to clone? Clone command. Can you tell me the syntax of the clone command? Can you tell me the syntax of the clone command? Yes, git clone. I need to go for repository URL. Paste it. Right? Paste that and click on enter. Then that repository will be downloaded to Bharat system. Bharat is cloned repository. So whatever the project which is already available, he cloned that project. He cloned that project by using git clone repository URL, right? Fine. Here, let me write for this notes. Let me write it. To take existing project from the repository to local system, we will use clone command. Existing project from repository to local system, we will use git clone command. We will use git clone command. What is the syntax for that? What is the syntax for that? Git clone repo URL. Git clone repository URL. Fine. With this, existing project will be cloned to your system. Existing project will be cloned to your system, right? Git clone repository URL, you can do cloning of that project to your system. Whenever you join in the project, when you are going to work with the Git, this is the first step that you are going to do, because if the project is already available, you don't need to create the project once again. You just need to clone the existing project from the repository to your system. Git clone. Are you clear with this? Right. Now look at the diagram. Whenever this repository available, git cloning is completed. Here, now let me give names for these people, sir, so that we will understand clearly. Now this is developer 1, who is our team lead, and this is developer 2, and this is developer 3. So there are 3 developers available in this project. First one developer is called as a team lead, and the remaining 2 are the juniors. Developer 1 committed that repository, created that repository, and committed the project folder structure to the GitHub repository. Developer 2 and developer 3 cloned that repository, because as the project already created, they no need to create once again, just they have done cloning. Right? After cloning is completed, this developer 3 committed one file to the repository. Can developer 3 commit a file to the repository? He created one file with the name called dateutils.java. It is a new file which is created by developer 3. Now, what he will do with this file? He is going to commit and push this file to this remote repository. He's committing and push the file to remote repository. Commit this file to remote repository. Now, let me create. Now assume that this Bharat is the third developer. He is creating one new file here, new text document with a name called dateutils.java. Let me write some class here, public class, some dateutils, public void convert to date, some method. Convert to date, some method is available. Now this file created by Bharat. He is a developer 3. Now let me close all git commands, git bashes. I need to talk about these 3 operations now. Fine. Now we are in the currently Bharat system. So Bharat cloned this repository. He created dateutils.java. Now can you tell me how he can commit this file to the repository? Can you tell me the flow now? Now act as a Bharat. You tell me, I will do the operation. What this Bharat has to do? First he has to open the git bash. Right, to perform the operations. Right, git bash is opened. He added one new file. He created a new file called dateutils.java. So what you need to do? First we need to check the status. Git status. Dateutils file is untracked because which is newly created file. Now I need to add this file. Add means add the file to the staging area. How I can do? Git add dateutils.java. git add date-utils.java, right? What is the next step? Check whether this file is added or not. How can I check that? How can I check whether file is added or not? By using status command. Git status. Git status command I am going to use to check whether this file is added or not. Yes, perfectly, that file is added. Now this file is eligible for commit or not eligible for commit? File is eligible for commit or not eligible for commit? Eligible or not eligible? Eligible for commit. Right. How can I commit it? Git commit -m. Here I will specify as part of our application issue CSL25 added date-utils class. Added date-utils class commit. When I do the commit, where it will be committed? When I do the commit, where it will be committed? Local repository, right? Can I check the status? Yes, we are head of one commit when compared with the origin branch, right? Can I publish my local commits to central? Can I publish local commits to central? Yes, by using which command? Git push. By using git push command, I am publishing my local commits to central repository. I am pushing means Bharat is pushing. Here I am acting as a Bharat. Fine, done. Bharat has done that. Bharat has done his work. Now let's assume that Bharat task is completed. Bharat task is completed. Now let me close his folder. Done. Right. Now here there is a developer called Sanjay. Second developer Sanjay is available. He is the second developer. Now he has to take latest code from the repository to start his work. Now initially first task is given to the Bharat. Bharat created one class and he committed his code and he published also to the central. Now today task is given to Sanjay. Task is given to Sanjay. Now what this Sanjay has to do is first he has to clone it. First he has to clone it. Already he cloned that project. He cloned that project. How to clone a project? By using git clone command. Now I am acting as a Sanjay. Now team lead told me, hey Sanjay, please work on that task. Hey, please work on that task. Now what Sanjay has to do? Clone it. First take the code. Already he cloned it. Done. Now he has to start the work. He has to start the work. Before going to start the work, he has to take the latest code. Before going to start the work, always you have to take the latest code from the repository. How to take that latest code? Now let us see here. I am opening git bash. I'm opening git bash. Right? Check the status. Git status. There are no commits to local, nothing to commit. Working tree is clean. But who knows somebody committed to central? Now I want to take the changes from central repository to local repository. Before taking that, let us verify how many files are there in the Sanjay system. Only one file is available, which is demo.java. But Bharat already committed his file. Whatever the file Bharat is committed, that is not available in the Sanjay system. Working tree means local, sir. Wherever you are work that system, whatever the changes you do in the local, that is called working tree. Working tree clean means your folder is clean, nothing is added. Now let's look at Sanjay system. How many files are there? One file, which is demo.java. Now Sanjay has to take latest code from the repository. To take the latest code from the repository, he will use a command called pull command. Push command means send the data to central. Pull command, take the data from central repository. To take the latest code from central repository, he is using a command called pull command. He is using a command called pull command. Now see how many files are there in the Sanjay system? 2 files are available. Earlier there was only demo.java. Now he got the file called date-utils. Actually, who created that file? That file is not created by Sanjay. That file is created by Bharat. So this is called team coordination. When Bharat is committed that file to the Git central repository, Sanjay is able to take that file from the central repository. That is called pulling the changes. Pulling the changes. To pull the changes from the Git repository, we will use a command called git pull command. So this is very famous interview question. What is the difference between git push and pull? Push means you send the data to central. Pull means you take the data from the central. Git pull command. So the purpose of pull command to take latest changes from the central repository to local system is called as pull. Push means sending the changes from local commits to the central repository. Let me add a pull command. Git pull command. Before making any changes to files, before making any changes to files in local, it is highly recommended to take latest changes from repository. It is highly recommended to take latest changes from repository. To take latest changes from repository, we will use git pull command. Syntax for that git pull. Sir, when you do the init, it will know that it is the repository URL. You don't need to specify the repository URL every time. Whenever you do the clone, it will remember this folder is binded to that repository URL. If you do the clone, that will understand what is the repository URL for that. You don't need to specify that. When you clone it, that is the reason we are using init command. Init is used to initialize that folder as a repository folder. Whenever you clone it, it will take that repository URL. Right. Now the question is, when to go for clone command, when to go for pull command? Can anybody answer? Can anybody answer? Vijay answered clone for first time. Pull. When to go for clone, when to go for pull? Anirudh, I am not asking push, sir. I am asking about clone and pull difference. Come on, response. Right. When you want to take project from the repository for very first time, then we will use clone command. First time you are going to work on that project, then you will use clone command. Once cloning is done, to take other developer changes, then we will use pull command. Pull command is used to take the update. When we are going to use pull command, when we are going to use clone command. Clone command we will use to take the project from the repository for the first time. After that, when we want to take updates from the repository, then we will use pull. So you remember, only first time you will use clone. After that, we don't use that clone. When you use clone, you will get the repository to your system. Once that is done, every day developers will be committing the changes to files. How can I take the latest code from the repository? For that I will use pull. Pull is nothing but updates, taking the updates from the repository. Taking updates from the repository, for that we will use pull command. So clone, commit, push, pull, important. Clone, taking the project from the repository for first time, we will go for clone. When to go for commit? If you make some changes in the local, then to commit the changes to the local repository, we will go for commit command. When to go for push? To send the changes from local commit to the central, we will go for push command. When to go for pull command? Taking latest code from the repository, we will use pull command. Sir, checkout meaning is different in the SVN and Git. Checkout meaning different, so they have different purposes for the Git. In the SVN, checkout purpose means cloning. In the Git, checkout purpose means undoing, right? So when I talk about SVN, I will explain you what is checkout in the SVN. But in the Git, checkout means replacing repository file in the local. If you've done some changes in the local, then you want to remove your changes from the local file, then you will go for checkout. But when you go for SVN, checkout means downloading the project from SVN to your system, right? For SVN checkout, the equal command in the Git is clone. Taking the project from the repository to local for first time is called cloning. For cloning, we need to pass the URL, git clone space URL, that will be cloned. For pull, we no need to pass the URL. Directly git pull means it will connect to that repository which URL we passed earlier, then it will pull the changes. Whenever you clone, you pass the URL, right? Then it will remember that URL. In that folder, it is going to remember that URL. Then it is going to pull the changes from that URL.
Sir,
If
hello.
Bye, you mute yourself, please. How many times I need to tell you, you have to talk at the end of the session, sir? Why are you so
Sir, I'm getting
excited?
doubt.
You ask your doubt in the last, not in the middle. Ask your doubt in the last. I told 10 times. At the end of the session, I will give the time for you to clarify your doubts. Don't disturb in the middle, please. Everybody will get the doubt. You ask at the end of the session, not in the middle. Please try to understand. Right. First time if you use pull, if you don't understand from where it has to pull the data, first time you have to clone it. Whenever you clone, your folder will be registered with that repository URL. So whenever you use the pull command, it is going to take the data from that repository to your local. So you should understand the difference between clone, pull, push, commit. Cloning means first time I am going to take the project from the repository to my local system. For that I will use a clone command. Commit means when I modify some files or when I create new files, I will commit those files to the local repository, right? Now, what are the files are there in the local repository? What are the files are there in the local repository? Now, I need to commit those files to central. I need to commit those files to central. For that, we are going to use, whenever I do commits to the local repository, I want to promote my local commits to the central. For that, I am going to use push command. Push command is used to publish changes from local repository to central repository. Fine. Next, pull command. Because we are 3 developers working, right? Bharat, Sanjay, and team lead is working in this project. Bharat has done some commit. Whatever the commit done by the Bharat, to those remaining 2 developers has to take the code which is done by the Bharat. For that, they are going to use a command called pull command. Pull is used to take the latest changes, right? If anybody not able to hear my voice, please unmute. Sorry, please log out. Leave the session and join once again. Please leave the session and join once again, because most of the people are able to hear my voice. If you are facing problem, that means problem from not my side. Problem is there with your side. So please leave the session and join immediately. Right. I am waiting for 1 minute. Please do that. I'm getting some messages. They are not able to hear me. Please leave the meeting and join once again.
Sir, now can I ask the question?
Sir, session, I told you, sir, when you ask, sir, why are you behaving like this, bhai? I will tell you once
Sir,
my
already
session
I
is
have-
complete. Yeah, you please
Sir,
note it
actually,
down. Please maintain your book.
I will not
Bhai
get the
sir.
chance to ask. I will not get the chance to talk because all people shall busy in talking with you. Sir, one important doubt I have.
क्या बोलो सर, क्या आपका डाउट क्या हुआ था?
Sir, suppose if I will push the code into the GitHub, if my code will overwrite, then what happens? Suppose
I will
same
tell you
code
that
will overwrite in GitHub.
there is a conflict situation,
Yes.
sir. I will tell you what is the conflict. I will tell you. I will tell you that, sir.
Yes,
I will
yes,
tell you.
yes,
Please
yes.
wait. Please control yourself.
Okay.
Right. Now, people are asking when to go for push and when to go for pull. When to go for push and when to go for pull. Yeah, I am getting laugh. Give me 1 minute. I will have some water. Right. Now, so we are discussing about clone command, push command, and pull command. Right now, this is the existing project. Now, let me take one new developer for this project. Now, assume that one new developer joined in our project. Already, lead is created the project folder structure. He committed that project to the repository. Right now, assume that one new developer joined in our project. Now, new developer joined in our project. Right. So let me give his name as Rani. One lady joined in our project as a developer. She is new joinee in our project. Now, what she has to do to work with our project? She is a developer. She joined in our team yesterday. Joining formalities are completed. From today onwards, she has to work on. She has to work on the project. Now, our team lead told to Rani, please set up your workspace and make sure your project is compilation free. So she joined in our project. As a team lead, I told to her, hey Rani, welcome to our project. From tomorrow onwards, you need to do the bug fixing in our project. There are some bugs available. You are 5 years experienced girl. You have to fix the bugs in our project from tomorrow. So what Rani has to do? First time she joined in our project. She is new to our project. Now, what she has to do? For Rani, I provided Git URL and I provided her Git credentials also. Then what she has to do for first time? First, she has to take the project from the repository to her system. She got a laptop from the company. Now she has to work on the project from tomorrow. So what she has to do now? She has to take the project from the repository to her local system. For that, she has to execute clone command. First time he has to take the project from the repository system to local. For that, she has to execute one command called git clone. First, she will execute a command called git clone command. For the git clone command, what is the input she has to pass? What is the input she has to pass? URL. Repository URL she has to pass for the clone command. Why she is not using pull? Why she is using only clone? Why she is not using pull? Why she is using only clone? First time she is taking the project from the repository to the local. When you want to take project from repository to local for first time, she has to use the clone command. Now, after taking that clone, she has done the workspace setup. She has done everything. Now I gave her to change something in one file. I asked her to add comments to all the methods available in dateutils.java. There are several methods. There are 10 methods available in a class called dateutils.java. I asked her to make changes to dateutils class, add the documentational comments for that class. Now she will do clone. Let me go to this Rani folder, new folder called Rani. Now assume that this is Rani system. Right. Now this is system. She is going to take the clone. Now what she has to do here? Git bash. She can initialize that folder as a git folder by using git init command. This is optional. She can initialize that folder as a git folder. Now what she has to do for first time? Git clone, and she has to enter repository URL. She has to enter repository URL. Now she got that project into her local system first time. First time Rani has cloned that project. Now from now onwards, Rani no need to use any clone command, because with the clone command our work is done. She has executed the clone command. She got that project into her system. Now what task I have given? I asked her to add comments to the datautils.java. Now she opened this one and she added some documentational comments for all the methods like this. To improve the readability of our class, I asked her to add the documentational comments like this. She added documentational comments: who is the author, when the method is created, why that method is created. She has done the changes. Right. Now what is the duty of the Rani? She has done the changes. What she has to do now? She modified the file. She modified the file. She has to commit and she has to push. She has to commit and she has to push. Why commit? First she should commit that file to staging. From the staging, she can commit to local repo. From the local, she has to promote to central repo. Right. Now she will go to git bash. She will go to git bash. She will check how many files she modified. She will check how many files she modified. Git status. One file is modified. Right. Now that file is not eligible for commit. Let's add that file to staging area. Git add datautils.java. Now she added that file to staging. Now what she has to do? She has to commit it. Git commit -m. Git commit -m as part of one issue, right? CSL7 added documentational comments. Added doc comments. Added doc comments. Right, fine. Let's check the status. Her branch is ahead of one commit by version master. That because she done one commit, that commit is not pushed to the central. Right. Now what she has to do, which command she has to use now? Pull command or push command? Pull command or push command? She has to use push command. She has to use push command. Right. Now she will execute git push. Whatever the changes she has done, those changes will be pushed to git central repository. Changes will be pushed to git central repository. Right. Now she has done changes to central repository. She committed the changes to central repository. As she is new to the team, she informed to team lead, hey Ashok, I have done my changes. I committed my code to, I pushed my changes to central repository. Could you please verify? So that is how he informed to the team lead. And he told me, Ashok, as you told, I added documentation comments for the datautils class and I pushed my changes to central repository. Please verify and let me know if anything needs to be changed. Please let me know whether my comments are correct or not. She informed me. Now I was busy in the client call. I don't have time to check our changes. So I told to Bharat, hey Bharat, is a newcomer in our project. She committed a file called datautils.java. Could you please verify whether she has done it correctly or not? Could you please verify she has done correctly or not? Suresh Reddy, what I am talking, what you are asking? Did I explain about your merge request? You people are spoiling the flow what I am explaining. I am explaining about the push command, when to go for push, when to go for pull. You are asking the last concept in the Git, that is merge request, pull request. I will talk about that, please. Right. Now, so here Rani completed her changes. She pushed her changes to the Git repository. She informed to team lead. How she will inform? Chat box will be available, or she can send a mail also. If he sits beside him, if she sits beside him, she can tell, hey Ashok, I committed my changes. I push it to central repository. I need to verify actually. I gave the task to Rani. I need to verify, but I was busy. I'm busy in client work. I have some other meeting, so I don't have time to verify the changes done by the Rani. Now what I will do is, I will tell to Bharat or Sanjay, because these are the experienced people or already existing people in the project. I will call, hey Sanjay, take the updated code from the Git repository and verify what are the changes done by the Rani and check whether she has done those changes correctly or not. That work I told to Sanjay. As a team lead, I asked Rani to do the changes. Rani has done the changes, committed the changes to repository, pushed the changes to repository. Now I actually verify as a team lead, but I don't have time to verify our changes. So I told to other developer in the same project who is experienced person, Sanjay, please take the latest code from the repository and verify what are the changes done by the Rani. She committed one file. Please verify those commits. Please verify those changes. Now, what command that Sanjay has to use? Sanjay is already working in the same project from 1 year. He's already workspace set up everything. What command he has to use? Pull command. Either Bharat or Sanjay, what command they need to use? Pull command. Who pushed the changes? Rani pushed the changes to central repository. If they want to review our changes, they need to use which command? Push command or pull command? Pull command they need to use. So why they are using pull command? They need to take the latest code from the repository. They need to take the latest code from the repository which is committed by Rani. So for that they need to use pull command. So if you want to send the code to the repository, then you will use push command. If you want to take latest code from the repository, then you will go for pull command. So I hope with this you understood when to go for push, when to go for pull. Still anybody not able to understand? Anybody confused with push and pull? Good. Fine, sir. With this, we completed very important commands that we are going to use in the Git bash, like status command, add command, commit command, push command, pull command. Right. Thank you. Thank you all of you.